Well, how about a quick overview of the region? Anything stand out with Japan, Vietnam, the Philippines? Anything on your radar?
As far as Japan goes, nothing extremely standing out at all. It's going in the right direction. Just like South Korea, Japan is slowly, very, very cautiously, is trying to decouple from the US, which is a healthy move for the US. They are very afraid to do it more drastically, although there are some nice strides that they're making in that direction too. Again, in the true great balancer fashion, Russia, of course, is right there. So the moment Japan starts decoupling just a tiny bit from the US, relations with Russia immediately improve. They start again talking trade with Russia and better relations, and maybe they will finally sign that peace treaty that they never signed since World War II, because who didn't let them? That was the US that never let them sign the peace treaty. And the US under Obama was still trying to sabotage Abe meeting Putin, and was telling him that no, you're not allowed to meet Putin. And Abe said, excuse me, but I will do what I have to do for my country. And that was actually very good. Basically, yes, it's going in the right direction. There is a better trade, improved relations, although they're still rocky, but they're still improving between Russia and Japan, and that's very, very good. This really rebalances the region much better. And there is one more thing that is happening with Japan. I just remembered this has been on my radar. I've been kind of monitoring it since Fukushima took place. The problem with Fukushima, they still cannot control it. Of course, it's horrible for the oceans, horrible for the environment in general, and marine life, don't even get me started. It's horrible. But also, of course, it's not great for the people of Japan and for water quality and many, many other things. However, it has been known that since 2000, what year was that? I forget exactly, 2014, maybe earlier than that, Russians got involved in that, and they proposed participation and the development of new methods under which perhaps it can be controlled. So this cooperation between Japan and Russia in this nuclear sphere and the containment of Fukushima pollution is actually very productive. This is yet another reason, very big reason, why there has been a warming in relations between Russia and Japan. And it will continue. Russians are actually coming up with some solutions. They're not 100% that they are at the testing stage, but Russians are very good at nuclear stuff. And this is happening outside of any sort of influence by the US. And what is interesting, of course, we know that all the nuclear stations and all of those reactors were built by the US, by General Electric or Westinghouse, I don't remember, but one of those companies. And that was sold to Japan as that engine of growth, engine of industrialization that did exactly put Japan on the map in 1980s. But now Japan is paying this huge price for allowing so many nuclear stations to be built on the rim of fire. And what are they going to do? What can they do under the circumstances? It's a very, very serious situation. And let's just hope, I really hope to God that no more events like Fukushima will happen in the next say 10 years. Next 10 years are very dangerous up until about 2026. I will bring in astrology for 1 second. I know this is not the topic of this discussion, and some people may not even like astrology.
Oh, we're all ears. Come on, go for it.
This is so interesting and so telling. The thing is that up until the year 2026, we have Neptune in Pisces. What does this mean? Neptune is the planet that rules the following things. Pay attention. Water, anything to do with water, anything to do with liquids, and that includes, incidentally, oil and natural gas. It also rules energy that is invisible, ethereal energy, but it also rules all kinds of energy, including nuclear. So anything to do with nuclear energy is ruled by Neptune. When Neptune is in Pisces, it's like double whammy. It's very good for creativity, it's very good for spirituality, but it is also very good for confusion. And note how much confusion we see all over the world, right? It also is good for illusion, but also for the illusion being dispelled and truth coming out. But it is also, unfortunately, it proliferates certain things such as floods and spills of oil, as well as gas wars. Look at Gazprom wars with Ukraine, all this situation with Gazprom, pipelines being built or they don't want it built. All this falls under Neptune, this confusion and illusion that exists around gas pipelines. And the Fukushima leak is also under this influence, and we have this influence until 2026. So I'm really, really hoping that Japan has gotten its act together sufficiently that they will not allow this to happen anymore. And another thing, remember how Fukushima leak happened, at least that's the official story. It was the result of the tsunami. Again, we have water right there, flooding, tsunami, and Fukushima. All this falls under the dominion of Pisces and Neptune. When you have Neptune and Pisces, it's multiplied tenfold. So everybody has to be very careful with water, with any sort of gas leaks in their homes, incidentally, with any sort of flooding. How many floods did we have around the world and continue having? And we will continue having them until 2026. So everybody has to be very careful. And of course, any sort of nuclear leaks, we have them all over the US happening. Mm-hmm. We hear it in the news all the time. Nuclear station here has a leak or some kind of damage. Nuclear station there, maybe we should close it. Then we have a gas damage from fracking in Pennsylvania. I am in upstate New York right now. And of course, thank goodness, New York banned fracking. But Pennsylvania, water table is completely poisoned in many areas in Pennsylvania, and people are drinking basically poisoned water, or they're forced to move out. And there is air problem in certain areas in Pennsylvania. We travel to or through Pennsylvania sometimes, and there are certain towns where there is an air problem. You actually breathe it, and then you cough for several hours after you left the town. So don't go there. There are
pretty
certain,
grim, yeah.
Certain areas in Pennsylvania, not all of them. So all this falls under this Neptune in Pisces dominion.